Hey everybody, it's Andrea Gribble, and I am excited that you are here to talk all about social media and recruitment of teachers, recruitment of staff. Hi Hillary from Kentucky. Yes, please introduce yourself in the chat bar. It's always nice to kind of know who we're talking to. As we go, I have everybody muted, but you can use that chat box to type in any questions and also to share some strategies, because I know that many of you are using some different ideas, different tactics, and I really want to open this webinar up to sharing. And so if you have something awesome that you would like to share with everybody that's been successful, okay, let's hear it. So all the slides and a recording of today's presentation are going to be emailed to you. So feel free to take notes. I'm kind of a note-taking girl myself, but just know not only the slides and the recording, but any of these, like some of these examples, I'm actually going to send you the URL so that you can refer back to them, okay? I try to give you the best notes in the business to make your job easier. We know that you've got enough struggles. If you're on Twitter, please tweet out during our presentation. I am the guest speaker today too, so I'm not going to be able to be tweeting, but if you can tag me at Andrea Gribble and you can throw out a hashtag social school for EDU, that'd be awesome. Maybe you're eating lunch right now while you're doing this, picture of your desk or any good takeaways. It's awesome to be able to use Twitter to kind of share that and then, refer back to it later. Now, you right now are in the right place if your school district is hiring. If you are looking for ways to grab the best people for your school or school district, you're definitely in the right place, because we know that it's not anymore, you can't just place a picture or a post in the newspaper, right? You can't just place an ad maybe on the radio, and it's just a really competitive market. And even putting things out on the statewide website where everything's posted, it's just we're living in a different world. And so if you're looking for strategies to definitely use technology to recruit staff, you are in the right place. Now, you're in the wrong place if you already know it all. So if you already got all the answers, I'm going to tell you you're in the wrong place. My goal is, and some of you know a lot, my goal is if you can take one or two nuggets out of this presentation to help your school, awesome, right? And we're all in different places. Some of us are really advanced with the way we use social media, technology for our district. Some of us are at the very beginning. I promise this webinar is going to offer something to all of you, but you are definitely in the wrong place if you've got all the answers. You're also in the wrong place if your office looks like this, which is my view right now as I look at you. I'm in Minnesota, and there's been snowstorms. It's April 4th, and we've got like over a foot of snow outside. It's ridiculous, but I do choose to live here, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, you're in the wrong place if you're here too. So I'm your host today. I'm sharing some power-packed information with you. My name's Andrea Gribble. I'm a mom of 6 kids. I run a company called Social School for EDU. We serve schools all over the country with help on social media. We actually directly serve 56 school districts. So I'm very, very blessed at what I do. But before, and our company is all about helping schools create awesome social media. So some schools are doing an okay job. A lot of people are doing it part-time. You've got other priorities. We just try to bring all of our expertise to you, and we want it to be awesome. We really want you to touch people's lives and all of that. Now, I just wanted to give a little, more background on me, and what better way than to show yourself as Wonder Woman as, a little 3-year-old girl. And I had the afro hair. Because everybody thought I was a boy, and so my mom gave me a perm, of course. I was born in 78. I just turned 40, so it dates me a little bit with the colored pictures. But, I really felt like I could, tackle the world, right? My nickname was Little Miss Independent, right? Because I could do everything myself. Just background on me, I was an overachiever in school, really, put my nose to the grindstone. Very successful in high school and in college, got my MBA, and I was in corporate America at a young age and built this beautiful 5-bedroom home when I was just 24 years old. And gosh, I was proud of that, right? Definitely. But then in 2013, after 13 and a half years with that company, I got laid off. Walked in on a Monday morning, and I didn't have a job anymore. And this was kind of at the pinnacle of, after I'd lost my job, I started this business. And this business that I now have, which is Social School for EDU, but there's a lot of uncertainty. And when I was building that business, I went through a lot of anxiety. I ended up having to, sell this beautiful house and move in with my parents and run a half marathon, right? But I was only half crazy, as my daughter said there. But there was a lot of anxiety going on, and I actually started looking for jobs. So we talked about looking for jobs today. Your people that are coming in are in a lot of different places. I started looking for jobs, and I got a job offer, actually, and a really good job offer, and I was so close to taking it. I was fighting a lot of anxiety, all the unknown, really insecure, but I did end up choosing to continue to try to make this business work. And, now after 4 years, we started 4 years ago, we've really built up our expertise in serving you. And I'm so excited because I get up every morning and I'm so blessed to be able to serve schools and help them tell their story. As a mom of 6, I believe in what our schools are doing for our kids, but we need to tell that story. And so just a little bit more, about me. Our mission at Social School for EDU is about celebrating students and connecting communities. And we want to help you celebrate your school one story at a time. We offer a lot of free support like this webinar, free support like our blogs. We have daily Facebook posts. We have a lot of free stuff out there. But we also run a business. So we do management of social media. We do coaching. So if you need added support, more than just the free stuff, we have a very affordable coaching program, and we even offer graphics. So we have awesome graphics that we can create customized for your school. And I'm going to share a little bit more at the end of this presentation, but we do one paid virtual event a year. One, and it's our social media summer camp. It's a lineup of 6 speakers, workbook, all the recordings. We have early bird pricing, and it ends next Sunday. April 15th is the last day to get in to save you $50. It's only $147 to sign up, but I just want to make sure that you're aware of that because we bring in speakers from all over North America to give you the best training, and it happens online June 26th and 27th, so I really want you to think about that as you go into the summer months if you want to take your social media to the next level. We serve schools kind of all over the country, mainly Wisconsin and Minnesota, because that's where I'm from, but we can serve schools anywhere with our social media management, Ohio, Wyoming, and basically the premise is schools are really busy educating students, looking for staff, dealing with school board. Our team is really focused on telling our story. And I've got somebody that is saying, is the webinar still happening? And I'm just going to try. No, I'm not going to try to get back with him. He'll get the recording, so hopefully that goes through. I could not do 56 schools by myself. We have a team of over 20, mainly stay-at-home moms, that help act as the account managers. Boy, have we learned a lot, and we bring that all to our schools. So we talk a lot about social media and the impact it can have, right? It can impact social or community engagement, communication, employee morale, school culture, open enrollment and school choice, staff recruitment, referendum success, crisis management, all of these things. And, kind of what we're going to focus on today is that staff recruitment piece, okay? Also that, kind of employee morale piece, and even the school culture piece, because that really comes across in when people are looking at your school district as a place of am I going to fit in? Do I want to work there? Because it's really competitive, right? And so we need to make sure that we can stand out, and social media can really help us do that. So before I start, I need you guys to each grab a little bit of a piece of paper, okay? It can be a scratch piece of paper. So this is my pseudo quiz, like in the back of Glamour magazine. Was that what we had when I was a kid, where you'd take those little quizzes? So this is going to be a fun quiz, okay? And it's going to kind of set the tone of understanding where's my school at with how we're presented, not only on social media, but online. So for each of these questions that I'm going to ask you, you're going to assign yourself either 0 points, which means you're not even close to what I'm asking you about. 1 point is we're on our way, or 2 points, we're crushing it. So you got a choice. You can either assign yourself 0, 1, or 2 points. I hope that's clear. Okay, so first question is, and if you have to maybe, I don't know if you have 2 screens. I always got 2 screens. I feel like sometimes I should have 3. Your website. On your school district, your school's website, are your social media channels easy to find on your homepage? If I have to go digging for them, that's a problem, okay? So you need to have them easy to find. Most, a lot of the templates of that are out there for websites have them up in like the header. I like them when they are above the fold because I don't have to scroll to the bottom. Some have them built in the footer. So if you have your social media sites easy to find right on your homepage, above the fold, I'd say you get a 2, okay? You get 2 points. If you have them, I think in the footer, I think that's a 1-pointer. That's just me. But if you can't even find your website, your social media channel, so here I've got Facebook and Instagram linked here. We also have Twitter and YouTube for this district, but at least I have those up there. But if you don't have anything on your homepage, I don't have to dig underneath any of these tabs. That would be 0 points, okay? My voice is cutting in and out. I'm going to hold up my phone maybe, and Rebecca, you let me know if that is a little bit better instead of it sitting on my thing. So that is better. Awesome. So that's worth 2 points if you've got it above the fold, 1 below the fold, or kind of somewhere, 0 points if it's nowhere to be found. How about your website? Now look at your website. Do you have a page for prospective employees? Do you have a page for prospective employees? Minnetonka, and I'll give a link to this, they have a really nice page under their human resources for prospective employees. And it gives, this is a great place to work. It has a video on the bottom. It is really, really a nice way of, hey, we want you to work here. Now, obviously, Minnetonka, we serve districts from 300 students up to, 8,000, 10,000 students. So depending on the size of your school, you may or may not have this. Think about it. If you have one, okay, you get the 2 points. If you have something that maybe at least has your job postings on it, it's a little bit hard to find, but yet I can find it. Maybe you get 1 point. If you don't have anything on there for prospective employees, then that's the big goose egg, right? That's 0 points. How many fans do you have on your Facebook page? So I always talk about Facebook. I talk about it a lot because it's usually the #1 platform for school districts to use. So how many fans do you have? So you can go to your Facebook page and you can look at how many fans you have, okay? 2,361 people like this page in Mineral Point, which my friend Joelle runs. They only have about 700 students K-12. I want your fan base to at least match your district enrollment. If you have 1,500 kids that go to your school, you should have 1,500 fans. If you have the same amount or more, you get 2 points. Okay. If you have fewer, but you're within maybe 30%, then you're going to get 1 point. But if you're a lot lower, then you're going to get 0 points. And it is a process, okay? It is going to be a process for you to add followers. And, we've got some of our districts that have 5,000 students, and so we're building up and we're in the 4,000s. We're still not there. So in that case, I would give us the 1 point. All right. We want a lot of people tuned into what we're sharing. Now, also on Facebook, how often have you posted in the last 7 days? On your Insights tab, you can actually go in and see, when you scroll to the overview on the bottom, you can see how many times have we posted in the last 7 days, okay? If you have posted at least 10 times or more, then I'm going to say that you get 2 points. Now, Facebook, in this case, a lot of times, we run the page for Anago right there on the top. They didn't actually post 32 times. They maybe posted one post with 5 pictures, and Facebook counts that as 5. So looking back at your social media, and again, you're not maybe during this webinar going to be able to look at all of that, but if you posted at least 10 times, you're going to get 2 points, okay? If you posted at least 5 times in the last week, then you're going to get 1. And then, and if you got less than 5, then it's going to be 0. Can you include numbers for small private schools? So, well, yeah, and if you have a private school, you're going to at least, again, want to match your enrollment numbers. So if you've got 180 students at your private school, then you want at least 180 fans, okay? More is better, obviously, but, and you still, even if you're a smaller school, you still want to post frequently. You've got amazing things happening at your school all the time. We need to be sharing that and connecting that. And the reason that affects enrollment or recruitment is because staff are looking at your pages and they want to see what your school is like. And if you're not posting very often, they're not going to be able to see how awesome you are, okay? Hopefully that helps. On Facebook, how many videos did you share in March? Now you can look on your page. Here's Rice Lake's page, and you can go just scroll down and look at videos, and you can see, this is a late screenshot because I did this presentation back in the fall with a group in Wisconsin. But you can see in October, oh my gosh, look at October 25th, 26th, 25th, October 9th. They had quite a few of them from October 9th. I like to say videos, if you share at least 1 video a week, that would be good. So if you shared at least 4 videos in March, you're going to get 2 points. If you shared anywhere from 1 to 4, 1 to 3, then you're going to get 1 point. If you didn't share any videos on Facebook, you're going to get 0 points. And these are videos natively in Facebook because they reach more people. And again, just like the number of posts, videos let you see into the classroom. You get to see what your school is like, not only your community, but prospective employees, okay? Now, also, just in general, when you look at your social media channels, I want to know, are you recognizing staff on a regular basis? Our mission statement at Social School for EDU is celebrate students and connect communities. However, we really place an emphasis on celebrating our staff. Why? Because our staff are awesome and they're doing amazing things. And these posts do really, really, really well on social media. They help attract new people in. They help get our story out. They share more than just, hey, I'm the Spy Ed teacher at Chippewa Falls Middle School, but I'm actually, doing more than that. I love to hike and I'm a dad and all this stuff, right? So how are you recognizing your staff? If on a routine basis you're doing like a weekly staff shout out or staff recognition, you're going to get 2 points. If you are recognizing staff every once in a while, so maybe once a month you're putting something out there, I'll give you 1 point. But if you're not recognizing staff at all, 0 points. And it's great when your staff gets awards, right? And so that is a good time. I mean, obviously you are going to share those, but we have everyday heroes in our district. And you know that staff, they create great bonds among each other, right? They want to work with other awesome people. So if somebody comes to your, social media pages and they're scrolling through and they're just like, I don't even know who works here, or, know how awesome they are, they're not going to look, they're going to think, well, what is this school all about? Share, celebrate. These are easy features to put together, so we want you to make sure. So again, if you're sharing at least once a week, shouting out about awesome staff, 2 points. Doing it maybe once a month, 1 point. If you're not doing it at all, 0 points. So I want you to add it up. This is the end of the little assessment test. And maybe if you guys want in the chat bar, tell me how many points you scored, okay? So if you scored 12 points, which is very difficult to do, we don't grade on a curve here. So, but if you got 12 points, you get an A. B is 9 to 11. A C is a 6 to 8. So viewer 61 got 6, only 6, a couple 6s. But hey, that's a C. That's passing. Okay, that would not be okay with me in high school or college because I was a straight A student. But I would feel pretty good with actually a C. And I see an 8 and I see a 10. So viewer 50 probably has some things to share. We probably need to. Oh, and so Susan got a D. I'm sorry. 8, 9. These are pretty good. So that's awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. And again, if I were to add up all these points for the schools, even that we serve, everybody's on a journey, right? And so some of us are further than others. There's always room to go up. So, all right, now that we kind of are grounded and know that, yes, we need help, we're doing pretty good, we're feeling good about a C, even though we don't really feel good about a C, let's talk about recruitment with social media. And again, I'm going to talk through these. These are going to be, hey, how does this apply? How can we really take this to the next level with our own school and get some good ideas here? The first thing I want to point out is most of our school districts have a way to post probably on a state system. So I know like in Wisconsin, we have WeCan. I'm sure in Minnesota, there's another website where they post all of the jobs, all of the teaching positions, maybe not all the support staff, okay? But those are posted on an official site. And so you think, well, that's good because they're out there and people can find us. I want you to really think about, when you think about social media, we want to attract people who aren't even looking. We want to get in front of the awesome teachers that are maybe teaching at a district next door that are perfectly happy because they're doing a great job, they're really engaged with their students, but now all of a sudden, because they see something pop up on Facebook or on Instagram, right, that all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, they've got a curriculum director position open. And I wasn't even really looking, am I ready? But oh my gosh, maybe I will apply. So I think that's the biggest opportunity with using regular social media channels like a Facebook or a Twitter or Instagram versus a LinkedIn, right? Or versus your regular posting site, because of course those people are looking for jobs, but we want to attract people that aren't even looking. And we'll especially talk about those support staff positions, right? We had put out a post for Little New Auburn, and we made a mistake because we were looking for substitute bus drivers, but they said bus drivers and they didn't tell me the word substitute. So I put it out there that, hey, we're looking for bus drivers. It was only out for like an hour, and they had 3 inquiries. Little New Auburn, 500 people in the whole dang town. We had 3 people that called about the bus driver opening. And one of the business manager was like, what, do all these people just sit on Facebook all day? And it's like, well, no, but it pops up in their feed or somebody shares it with them, or it's like, oh my gosh, this is open. So again, you can attract people that are not even looking. Another thing, a very important thing to know within your school, so I want you to think about this, is referrals. Think about any job you've ever gotten. Usually it's through referrals. It's people knowing people that are looking for opportunities. That is huge. Social media makes it super easy to share out and get it in front of people. Heidi Feller is our CIO, and she always says, like, for some of those, support staff positions, maybe, they know their sister has her, so it's a nephew, that's living in her sister's basement, right? So she's like, I know he needs a job. And so all of a sudden she sees something that's out there. So she's sharing that with her sister and like, here's a job for your son. Everybody knows somebody. And so referrals are a huge way to do that. So liking and sharing is easy on social media. It doesn't require anything. But think of how you're also sharing offline. So within your school, if you are looking for a few positions or a lot of positions, make sure that you are taking the time to ask your current staff members, hey, who do you know that would be a great addition to our team? Make sure to share it. We just posted it out on our Facebook page. It's so easy to just share that and message that to somebody, okay? So referrals are huge. And again, I'm just going to invite you all in. If you've got stories that you want to share, that little conversation button on the top of your screen is a great place to share. And so I'll make sure I'm watching the chat box as I go. I'm very happy to kind of give some strategies for any of this. So if you've got something you want to share, please jot it down. Social media is also a way to reach more people for less money. So this was a Buffer survey back in 2016. I know it's 2018, but it still is, even though it's gotten more challenging to show up like on a Facebook or LinkedIn, it's still economical to do versus a newspaper ad or magazine or radio, cable TV, all those. Look at Facebook ad, 25 cents for the cost to reach 1,000 people. So we don't do a ton of boosting or advertising for our schools, but it is certainly possible, and it is very economical. You can target elementary teachers. You can target specific age groups of people. You can target, what kind of education they have. You can target within geographical area. So if you traditionally pull teachers from about 45 minutes to 45 miles from your district, you can plug that all into social media, into Facebook for sure, and LinkedIn. You can just grab those people. So very important to know. I'm not going to get into all the specifics of how you run those ads, but just know that it is possible to reach a lot of people for less money. So now I want to dig into just some specific postings and just some reminders and tips and strategies, okay? So this was from a presentation that I did a couple months ago at a school, and it was funny because it's in January in the middle of winter in Wisconsin. And so who wants to be a noon recess supervisor? Like, I don't know. You guys all have a lot of jobs at the schools that I could never, ever do. But recess supervisor would be a challenging one, right? But they put this out, and they got quite a few applicants. I want to say 5 or 6 applicants off of this. It's not, I would challenge and say it's not the best job posting, simply because maybe the time of day, it was 9:30 in the morning, it was just a picture of the school. But one thing that I did want to point out is, it reached over 1,000 people. We have to remember, again, with social media, with like Facebook, just because you have 2,000 fans on your Facebook page, when you put out a post, it doesn't mean that it reaches all of those people, right? The more it's liked, the more it's shared, the more it's commented on, that's when it's going to end up reaching more people. So it's just something important to keep in mind. That's why, creating great posts are going to be critical. Having people share it, which usually when there's an opening, that's a spot where people do tend to share it. So that's really good. But this was for a support position. Here's another post that you could share. This is actually, directing them back to the school's website. They're on the bottom, so this is a link. But we made sure to put a big graphic that is customized. This is one of the things we do for schools is we create these graphics. And we're saying, hey, we have open positions. Please see our website for more information. Educational assistants, playground supervisor, bus drivers. These are all like para positions, support positions, not necessarily teaching direct, requiring a teaching license, but they're support positions that you're probably going to get from your community. You want to make sure you put them out there. I like this time slot, 6:40 p.m. because we're seeing the most traffic on our Facebook pages between 7 and 8 o'clock at night. So think of those posting times. Think of how you're wording it. I like this because, again, it's saying like the names of the positions that are open. It's not just, hey, we've got open positions, please see our website for more information without anything else. It's giving people an idea like, ooh, who would be a good educational assistant, right? Or again, the elusive playground supervisor. Back when I went to school, it was just the teachers had to take turns. I don't think they do that anymore, but that's how it used to be. I'm old school, right? Another option, and you guys, this is free through Facebook. And again, Facebook, I just think with over 2 billion users, even though there's some challenges with Facebook being in the news recently with their data and, you know, how they're influencing us all, which we know they are, right? Because you search for something and all of a sudden that's all you see for ads on Facebook. But a lot of people are still using Facebook. So there is an option when you're on your page where you can actually publish a job post. So if you haven't seen this, but on your Facebook page for your school, you can, you know, usually you're sharing a photo or a video. Hopefully you're using Facebook Live sometimes, but you can actually publish a job post. And when you hit that publish a job post, you can have an introduction, you can have a photograph, a job title, you can even put in a salary, full-time, you know, additional questions, details, how to contact the school for more information. So this is another opportunity. And Facebook has a spot just for job postings, like in your area. So again, this might be, it'll show up in your newsfeed too. But if you do want to catch those people that are looking for a job, this is available to you. Okay, so I'm not sure, has anybody used this yet, and have you had success? I would be interested to know that. So if you want to chat back and just let me know if you have used that publish a job post feature. They just tried, viewer 82, we'll call you Ted. No, I don't know. She just tried it, and I had great success. So awesome. So try that. Try it. Doesn't cost you anything, so why wouldn't you? Another thing, oh, and then Susan does that regularly, and they have a lot of success too. So that's awesome. Creating just great graphics to go along with your job postings is critical. So this was a cute one, again, from my friend at Mineral Point. Oh my gosh, did you hear the news? We're hiring. So make sure there's always a visual with your post, or it's not going to be seen by really anybody. I like this post. This is one of our schools that we put out there. And basically, again, use that customized graphic for the school, but it's like we're hiring, and then it's also what positions. And again, that's going to trigger somebody that if they know somebody, if it's not them, if I'm not the high school science teacher, they may know a high school science teacher, right? We all know other educators. And so we can then forward that or share it with more people. Adams Friendship is a small little district, doesn't have a ton of followers on their page. This one reached over 3,800 people. That's a lot. I want to see, maybe they've got 600 or 700 followers on their page. I'd have to look. But that's a lot of people. And then obviously always kind of linking back to where do they get more information. And that in Wisconsin, they go to the We Can, because these are all, you know, teaching type positions. Another great opportunity is to really think about how are you, what posts are you sharing? And I like this one because it's got faces on it, so it's the faces of the community. But they were obviously at a event to attract teachers to their district. My friend Jason Wheeler in the back there it does awesome with all the marketing and social media that they do for Carlton Farmers District in Texas. They were at a job fair type thing, and they took a picture and then shared that online. So if you're doing, you know, recruiting in person, share those pictures too and let people know, and, you know, take pictures like this. I think that's awesome. And obviously they were giving away some swag. Swag never hurts, right? And so to broadcast the district. But make sure you're sharing those pictures. And again, nice smiling faces. opportunity to be like, yeah, I'd love to work with those people, right? So that's cool. This one I really liked because Ryan, I just saw this on Twitter, the power of Twitter and searching for things. At Arcadia Unified District, they have done, it's a big district, so they have a lot of openings. So they had shared this post. It had over 2,400 clicks. And I followed up with him, and this was all organic. This was not paid. He did not pay to have this come to him. So that's really cool in that, you know, Facebook, social media, it's not a waste of time. Less than 24 hours, they had that reach, and that's critical. You know, 37 likes, and they had 25 shares. Again, these types of posts are going to be shared with a lot of people. Just a simple graphic. I'm assuming this is probably a stock image that he got somewhere from a free site or something like that. You know, maybe the only way that you could maybe improve on this is maybe have something a little more customized, or just never forget that if you've got some great looking teachers, you want to put their pictures in there too. That can be helpful. Photos are great. Videos. How are you conveying your message of your school district story, your school culture, your opportunities for your teachers through video? You can create a lot of videos, and I will give you this link in the meeting. I'm not going to play it now, but Rock Hill Schools did a great job of really capturing a lot of the diversity that happens in their staff. They shared a lot about the opportunities for growth that they have, how they're treated, what kind of a community there is. They actually kind of showcased the town in which you live in, which, you know, in my little district in New Auburn, we'd show the 7 streets that we have, right? We don't have a very big community. But think about what makes your school district, your community unique, and what would draw in the best of the best for teachers and staff. And highlight that. You could highlight that in a professionally made video, or you could do that on the cheap and do it in-house. You might have somebody that loves video. You might have some high school students, right, that would want to put together a nice video for one of their classes. I really, I can't let this slide in stats. I'm not sure if somebody was trying to click the stats. I'll share some of that later, so I'm sorry about that. But video is important, and if you need more help with video, of doing some of your own, then you definitely want to check out our summer camp event, because we have one session on 10 tips for videos that you're creating for social media. You can do it on your own with the equipment. A lot of the equipment that you already have are very low cost. And so I'm not sure if Rock Hill did this in-house, but if you're thinking about video strategy, think about having something that is talking about opportunities and the staff. We all know great schools start with great staff, and so really work on that. When you're sharing out on platforms like a Twitter and like an Instagram, even with, you know, posts on Facebook or LinkedIn, think about the hashtags that you would use. So some of the hashtags that I found, and if you've got other hashtags that you like to use, and maybe you have some specific ones in your state, but hashtag teacher jobs, education jobs, now hiring, careers, EDU jobs, school jobs, critical. I love this picture that this school shared from Freedom Prep Academy, because it's what, you know, teacher, I'm assuming that's a teacher with a student. Change lives, start now, teach at Freedom Prep. Pretty simple, right? And then talking about, hey, join us, here's some more information, getting that out on their Twitter and using a lot of different hashtags, okay? So that is, that's critical. So if you're sharing those out on Twitter, and just remember, if your school isn't significantly, if you're not using Twitter a lot, some of our districts, we just don't have a real powerful following on our district Twitter accounts, but educators are immersed, the good ones are immersed in using Twitter for professional development, for connecting. Twitter is an incredibly valuable spot for you to be able to share your jobs for your school. I love this one too because it's got a cute picture, and so they're just sharing it out there, sharing cute pictures of the staff, and again putting that out there on Twitter. Hashtag EduJobs, hashtag Auburn, hashtag education. 130 hours per quarter, 11 to 12 hours per week, open until filled. Counselor, you know that, and this is at a college, I know, but you know, for K-12 it would work similar. And so just think of how you're putting those out there. And if you don't have a district account, don't be afraid to put it out on your personal account and just say, hey, we're hiring, and throw out a nice picture. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is kind of an obvious place for people that are looking for jobs. Okay, so again, this is, you know, where I would think like a Twitter, you could catch people that maybe aren't necessarily looking. LinkedIn, I think most of those people that are on there might be, you know, actually looking for a job. You can actually post jobs if your school has a business profile on LinkedIn. I don't know if you guys would be interested in, I'm not a pro at LinkedIn. We don't use this a ton with the schools we serve, but LinkedIn might be something for a webinar, free webinar next year, if you guys are interested in kind of just understanding the basics of getting it set up and how to use it for your district. But we see many people using it. It's a great place to connect. You can post jobs, and then if people are looking in your area, looking under categories, fairly easy to fill out, but you do need that business profile. You could also, if you just have a personal LinkedIn page, you could share out a posting and link them back to your website or link them to. So obviously this would probably be the best way to share a job opening, but even if you have your own LinkedIn profile, you could share things out. So don't be afraid. The more you get it in different places, obviously the better. Instagram is another great place, right? So again, using the hashtag, putting out the pictures. You know, we know the younger generation, although Instagram is, I mean, for us, it's kind of our second biggest platform that we use for our schools. We do put YouTube out there, but Facebook and Instagram, great place. A lot of young teachers, I think, are going to be on Instagram. And so what a great opportunity to kind of, you know, get your information out there. And so don't be afraid to place it out there. Again, if you don't have a school account, maybe you could even share it on your personal account. Okay, so that's powerful. This is kind of a more advanced marketing tactic or recruitment tactic, but it's on content marketing. Content marketing is all around creating valuable information for your audience. And so in this case, it would be more on, you know, reaching out to staff members, right? And then it links back to your school district. So you are kind of positioned as, hey, we're putting out this information. You might be getting their email address and kind of doing a nurture. And you can do that with parents, with getting kids into your district, but you can also do it on staff recruitment. How career tech classes are transforming students' learning. What if that was something in regards to, you know, teacher opportunities in that? I'm not going to pretend to be an expert when it comes to content marketing for schools. I do a lot of content marketing for my own business, which is kind of like what I'm doing now, right? Webinars, you know, and sharing a lot of blog articles. If you want to know more about content marketing, listen to this free webinar. It's on my resource page. You can check that out. Jason shares a lot of information on how do you attract the right people, develop those audience personas, and get information out there that are going to pertain to the audience you have, which is, in this case, is prospective teachers, prospective employees that you would want coming to your district. So that's all about content marketing. And then finally, you know, just giving prospects a glimpse at your school. I can honestly say in our small little district of New Auburn, I met a teacher that is one of the music teachers, and she actually said, I almost didn't take this job or even apply because of your website, or because, the website was really bad at the time. If your social media presence is you're posting once a week, what does that say about your school? You're not telling your story. What kind of great things are happening? What's your priorities? I know that giving a good educational experience to your students is obviously your priority, but we have to take the time to tell that story and make sure people can see it, and that they see the superintendent in a funny little back to school, frame with the mascot of that elementary school, right? And that we see school, students interacting with each other and reading. It's really important. So again, when we go back to your initial little quiz where some of you, maybe scored a C, trying to take that and take baby steps to make it better. It's consistently telling that story and making sure that people can obviously see that there are amazing things happening at your school. And I know at every single one of your schools, there are amazing things. So I'm going to open it up for questions. I'm just going to quickly kind of go through our social media summer camp. I think every school is always trying to take your social media presence to the next level. And we do that in a lot of free ways, but we do that in one paid virtual event that meets you right where you're at every year. Last year, we had a very successful first annual summer camp, and we've got a lot of happy campers. You go to conferences, you have to spend money to travel there. This is a very relevant, lot of important content that was really worthwhile. All for, right now, it's only $147. I'm not going to play that because my audio is not working, but we've teamed up with some of the best speakers from across the country that are going to be sharing in a 2-day format. So we're doing 3 presentations on June 26th, Tuesday, 3 presentations on June 27th. Greg on Tuesday is going to be talking about creating socially savvy tweeters. So the more teachers we have tweeting, the better, right? So Greg is out of Florida, and he's got a lot of energy. He's going to be bringing that all to you. Jake Sturgis is from here in Minnesota. He owns a company called Captivate Media and Consulting. He's going to be talking about video storytelling and 10 tips for social media, of creating videos that are going to be essential for social media. Heidi Feller's on our team. She used to work inside of a district, like many of you, where they went from 0 social media presence to really having an awesome, incredible, engaging presence in Reedsburg. So just talking about the journey, and so wherever you're at in that journey, you're going to be able to share a lot of tactical, hands-on, like how do we do this, how do we get involved. Then June 27th, Brian Woodland is kind of maybe our keynote of all of them. He is the owner at Brian Inspires out of Canada, but he just recently retired out of Peel School District in Canada. He's going to be talking about inclusion with social media. So how do we include all of our students? How do we celebrate all of our students with social media? He is a sought-out speaker across really all North America. I think he was just in California, out in Oregon, Washington, giving some keynotes. We're going to bring him right to you, and you don't have to travel at all. And then Justin is out of Klein ISD in Texas. Social media can be really overwhelming, and he even has a small staff, but it's missing manpower, and it's tips on how to work smart and not hard. And really those tactical acts and strategies and how do you make the most out of it. He's going to be breaking that all down. And then I'm going to wrap up with what works in 2018. We work with 56 schools. We coach even more districts. And so we have learned a lot with these changing platforms, these changing rules. We're going to bring all of that knowledge to you behind the scenes. We're going to be talking about how do you look at your data and make decisions based off that to spend your time where it's most needed for your district, because every district's a little bit different. So very power-packed, how to better involve your administration, very inspirational. Your camp includes the 6 topics from the 6 speakers. You've got live Q&A. You've got a printable workbook that you can print out. You've got lifetime access to the recordings and slides, lifetime access. And this is the biggest bonus. You can you can share the recordings with your school or district unlimited. So you can share it with anybody at your district. So basically $147, you have access to the live presentation, but then afterwards, if you've got an awesome one on inclusion, if you've got the video tips that you want to share with some other people, you have the authority to share that with other people. So this training's for teachers, superintendents, public relations, media specialists, secretaries, principals, IT personnel, coaches, anybody involved in social media in schools. That's who this training is for. It's $197, but it's only $147 if you register by April 15th. That is less than 2 weeks away. I want you to save money. socialschoolforedu.com/2018 camp. I'll send it out in the meeting request or in the meeting notes from today. You can click that and register. You can also go directly to that link. Only $147. You can pay with credit card or PayPal. If you need to pay with a check, just email me. There is also an opportunity to even print out a little PO request. If you need to get that submitted on your side, that's fine. That's available right on the registration page. Again, really affordable training. A lot of the great speakers from across the country that are coming right to your desktop. So whether you're in your car, whether you're on the beach, whether you are in the office or at your home, you'll be able to tune into everything. So that is all I had today. And I've got some time now for some questions or maybe some additional comments on what's been working well. So how does the paid Facebook ad got past Facebook review with so much text in the pic? I don't think that I shared any paid Facebook ads, Scott. So any of the posts that I shared, that is true. When you do a try to get back to some of those. When you do a post, like any of these, if you have too much text, it's not going to get past the little, like, I think it's 20% max that you can actually share. This one might be pushing it. This one was not paid. This was all from organic reach. So this one obviously would be okay. This one, again, we did not pay to have this reach more people. So I hope that helps. If you are going to try to pay to boost something, you do have to watch how much text you have in the picture. And again, remember, even this job posting, this is not paid. This is just a job posting on Facebook. And so you don't have to pay for that. Although it grabs one of our nice cover collages, which I think is that's a pretty good one because it's got some of our a younger student and some older students. But we didn't pay for any of this. And that's what I think is so cool with social media. You can reach a ton of people without spending a dime. Obviously, you cost maybe some money because you're running the social media pages for your schools. Do you have any tips on how we can get buy-in from an old school superintendent regarding social media and the importance of it and our time spent on it? Or even for staff to help me send me videos. I'm one person and it's only a sliver of my job, so I can't get out to schools as much as I would like. So viewer 64, it's a big one, right? It can be really, really challenging if your district doesn't understand the importance. In any district, even if you have a dedicated communications person, which again, social media might be part of your job, some of you are working communications as half of your job, or it's not even really your job, you just volunteer to do social media. You cannot be in every classroom at every moment, and there's great things happening all the time. We always kind of start out at the beginning, which is you have to create the expectation that everybody on your staff is part of telling your story, and we need them to submit at least one picture a month to an email address or to you. We like it to create a social media at yourschool.org or whatever you have, that everybody's responsible for sending in one thing. I have a blog coming out next week about the stats behind social media. I think showing your superintendent or others that don't buy in the statistics behind social media. There's many of our districts that are reaching about 10,000 per week just with Facebook. That's a lot of impressions of your school that are going on to your community and the world in a positive way. but there's got to be some priority set on it. I can certainly try to talk to them, and we do have some recorded webinars that may be helpful, but it's very important that they need to be able to get on board. So sharing some of the data, and I have past blog articles on my website that talk about some past data as well. It's critical. It's a need. So I'll try to share a couple articles in the follow-up. So that's a good question. But again, yeah, just because you have a staff member that's responsible for social media, you cannot do it yourself. Obviously, when we work with a school, we're not on site. So I can't take a picture. So it's got to come from them. But even if you have somebody inside your school, I once came to a district and they're like, when is the Facebook person coming around to take our picture? It's like, no, you have right in your hand, right, a phone, take the picture, submit it to us with a little sentence, and that's great. So hopefully that helps. Susan, a question on summer camp. Is this price per person? Is it one price and we can include several viewers? Susan, you can include several viewers. I'm basically saying $147 for your school. So one person get registered. If you need to send that link out to a couple people that'll be joining, that's going to be okay. I trust, right? I trust all of you. So I trust that you are only going to give the link out to people within your school or school district and not out to the whole world. Because all of a sudden, if I have 300 people registered, 300 schools, and all of a sudden 5,000 are attending, then that's obviously going to be an issue. But yeah, just have one person register, and that will be great. The friendship one wasn't paid, right? Yeah. So viewer 30, that friendship one, this reached that many people. This reached 3,847 people, and it was not paid. We didn't pay to have that reach more people. Powerful, right? Like you can do this. You can create these, and we use Canva a lot. These really custom, nice. We have a social media graphics package, just FYI, that's only $600, and you get some nice cover images for Facebook and Twitter, and you also get 3 social squares that are kind of customized like this, but they're blank in the middle, so that you can fill them in with whatever kind of information you want. $600 is cheap. We have a great package. So, but yeah, we did not pay any money to reach that. So that's awesome. Let's just see. Trying to go through this. Facebook ads work better with pick-only ads. Leave your words for the description space. Yeah, I agree. Margie, thank you. And again, people engage with faces, right? And so I think that's really powerful. We've had a little bit of success. If it's mainly faces and then maybe it just has a little blurb about now hiring or join us or whatever, but mainly the pick ads are going to work better. What information is shared on the staff get to know you page that is posted weekly? So we do some staff features in a few different ways. One way is we do a staff feature that just is like name, family, how long they've worked there, hobbies, fun facts, and why they love working for, let's say, Adams Friendship School. So we ask each staff member, they don't have to be featured, but we recommend it, right, to just write up a paragraph or two on themselves, including those things, and a photo or two of their family. So that's what we share. Hey, I'm Andrea, and, I'm a mom of 6 kids, and I live in Woodbury, Minnesota. I have been working for the school district for 3 years now on the communications team, and I absolutely love what I do. The biggest reason I love working for this school is because our students rock, whatever. So those are the kinds of things that you would share. Very positive. You would obviously edit them, make sure spelling and all that, right? We are all the grammar police. But that's kind of what we share. We've also done some features where all it is just a really basic, let's just see. I'm just going back to these couple that we had shared. This was, favorite vacation spot, favorite book, just a little. So that one was pretty simple. This one was a little bit more. And we've even done some where it's just like, hey, thanks for all you do. And it's just one of their school pictures. and you just take time rotating through the staff members that, hey, it's time for our weekly shout out who, you know, to recognize the staff who make this place awesome. Today we recognize Mr. Pro, our middle school Phi-Ed teacher, okay? So we make up a basic graphic and we do that. And it's easy because you can batch that. I'm all about batching and saving time. With Facebook and stuff, you can schedule those out for 6 months in advance. So that is really, really good. Each month I send out this is from Viewer 64. Each month, or no, to Viewer 64. Okay, so this maybe is some advice. Each month I send out an email to all teachers reminding them to let me know if any cool stuff is going on, that I can take some photos or videos, or ask them to send me stuff. I include things I've covered in the last month that at least gets them thinking and starts communication. Great suggestion. So the more you include them on, oh my gosh, look at this post that we shared. It reached 5,000 people. This is an idea. And I've even broken it down even further, where if you ask everybody, sometimes it's like you're talking to nobody. So if I haven't gotten anything from the tech ed teacher, which I know they're making some really cool things, they're doing a Rube Goldberg, machine, I'll just email them and say, hey, can you share a short video of your Rube Goldberg machine? I'd really like to share it on social media. If you reach out to a couple individual people, get them on board, and then things could really start rolling. So that's really great advice. After that white supremacist rally in Virginia, you can no longer do targeted paid Facebook ads by profession or school attended. Oh, so they're making up some different rules. So you just have to, with paid Facebook ads, yeah, you're going to have to pay attention to all the rules. I'm not a expert in that. Regarding Facebook jobs, I tried posting some positions there, but we want them to apply through an application process. What do others do? I usually have to keep checking the Facebook job sites to communicate this with those individuals. So that's true. If you have some of these job posting sites and they think they're applying right now, you actually have to direct them to a specific application process, a specific site. Anybody still on that has some advice might be able to offer advice of what they do. I would say, yeah, in that case, you're going to be subject to having to kind of check back with them. The other thing is just making sure that somehow they reach out through an email, and then you have some connection. And just remember, when you're attracting and trying to draw in recruits, these are great tools, but it does not replace person-to-person interaction, right? And so all of those touch points, that what does the recruitment process look like and what's the experience from the very first time that you're, in contact with them, it all matters. So getting the right applicants, I think, is a lot of the time the struggle, right? We're not even we have a job opening that, maybe 10 years ago you used to have 30, 40 people apply. Now you're getting 4. We can use social media to try to draw in more options for ourselves to really draw in the most people. So really great questions, you guys. I think I'm down to the last of them. If there are any more that we've still got 59 people on live. If you've got more questions that you want to ask, let me know. I will be sending out the recording to this video, and then all the resources, some of the links, the videos that I kind of shared. Again, just want to offer that invite out to Social Media Summer Camp. Again, it is a paid event. It helps keep things like this free, like throughout the year. Obviously, there's some cost that goes into it, a lot of time on my part. I want to keep those free. And offering that Social Media Summer Camp with all those amazing speakers is one way that we do that. And so we just want to make sure everybody saves the $50, just $147 to join us. And I know June's a long ways away, but again, sometimes people can't join live, but they still get access to all of the recordings and lifetime access to those recordings, which is really cool. So one last chance for any questions that you guys have. Otherwise, I hope you're able to take a couple tidbits, bring those back to your district, and really help share your story again, if you've got some future ideas, again, I talked a little bit maybe about LinkedIn. Facebook ads is probably something we need to talk about again. We talked about Facebook ads actually in last summer's summer camp. And likely next year I'll be bringing my friend Shane Haggerty from Purpose Land back on to give some more tips and strategies to Facebook ads and how you can use them for your school. But we're always open for suggestions. So just here's where you go to apply or register or learn a little bit more, get your questions answered on summer camp. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. So thanks so much for joining us. Bye-bye.